Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another Core Racing League event. We're back with the IndyCar series tonight at Road America. But I do have a special guest in the booth with me, probably going to be in here with me the whole rest of the season. Mark Trisket Thomas. Mark, how's it going?
Hello, my friend. Good to be here. Yes, going well. Thank you. And yourself?
Um, I just got out of the car racing tonight.
Ooh.
Did the 87 series over at ECRC at Nashville Fairgrounds. Had a pretty decent car, and the guy who I was working with, I timed the restart absolutely perfect and ended up spinning myself out. So took myself out of contention for a top three, but I did finish fourth after spinning. So can't be too mad at myself. Won the last two races, finished fourth there tonight. Should move up to P2 in points, but
Nice.
now I'm just, get ready to do this IndyCar race tonight as, we're bringing you all the coverage. It is 30 laps at Road America. It is, it looks to be 3.98 miles of a track, 108-degree track temperature. So you're definitely going to see a lot of different driving styles come out to play. Um, has there anybody been in your mind probably the best one for this track so far that you've seen in practice, or are you just gonna try to
There's.
keep it biased?
I'm gonna try. Frankie and Alexander have been rocking up at the top of the timesheets at the moment. So I think those are probably going to be the two to look out for. But the thing with this track is that it will bite you. One wrong move and there is not a great deal of run off before you hit a barrier. So if you get it wrong here, you really get it wrong.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I believe last season you were in the booth with me for Road America again. As
I think it was.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about the Goodwood circuit, and then we also talked a little bit about this race track here tonight. Obviously, it is the Indy cars. They're a little bit quicker than the stock cars that come here, like the Xfinity Series, the Truck Series, and the Cup Series. So you're definitely going to see a bit different of the speeds, how well they can attack these corners. Because, I mean, in an IndyCar, Mark, anybody knows you can attack a corner a lot better and a lot faster than you could in a stock car. So you're definitely going to see who has put in the practice, who's put in the time, and figured out this track all together. I know me. I still don't like the IR18s. I just not my forte. And I'm glad
I
I'm up
don't
here in the
mind.
booth.
I don't mind a little open wheel, but I don't even actually own the Dallara. I don't own the IR18. It's not something that I've looked into. I mean, at some point, you know me, I like a bit of road racing, so it might be something I look into. But yeah, I think with that little extra, little extra, with that lot of extra downforce and the aero rushing over over the front and the rear wings on these things. Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting. As you say, there's going to be a lot of attacking on the corners. Tire compound might come into play here. I think that they're running with the access to two different tire compounds. So I'll be curious to see whether or not there's a tire compound switch. Whether somebody just goes soft medium or soft hard, or uh, whether they just stick to what they know. But it should be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. It should be a good race.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, especially with these IR18s, Mark. Me and you, we run the GT3, the GT4 series. You're the GT4 cars. I'm in the GT3s. As last week, I did take the night off. I had some stuff that I had to take care of, and wasn't able to be there for Monza on Monday night. But from what I heard, it was a pretty good race. Everybody giving room. So maybe these guys that do run the GT3 and GT4 series, maybe they can translate that over here. And granted, the IR18's got a little bit more of in-car control that you can do over the GT4. In the GT3s, like you got your weight jacker, you got your ARBs, you got a lot of stuff that you can do inside the car of this IR18 that you can't do in a GT3 or GT4. So you're definitely going to see who knows how to play with that weight jacker and who doesn't.
Yeah, again, that's a little out of my ballpark. As I say, not never having run one of these. I've heard it said, and I've you know me, I like to keep up on the Discord, and I like to see what people are talking about and chatting about. And there was a lot of people who were talking about the weight jacker, so, you know, shifting ARB bias around just to try and make the car handlers, the fuel load lightens up, which is all, you know. I mean, this stuff is really going to play into, especially some of the faster road courses. It's going to make a difference to just how hard you can attack and just how hard you know you can leave your late braking here. And I think that's where a lot of the moves are going to come from. It's, you know, some of the big stuff into turn 12, Canada corner. That's going to be interesting. And you know, the old run out of Thunder Valley, turn 13. That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough to get right as well, because that leads up to that sharp right just before you have the big straight. If you can get a decent run out of there, you're going to be in good stead, because the old drag here is going to be a big thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. And just like you said, it's definitely going to be a patience race. I mean,
Oh yeah,
you do have a lot of places where you can make good passes, but then the draft comes into effect, and these cars with the high downforce, or are they running low downforce? I can't remember which one they are running, but with that, you're going to suck up to the back to the guy that's in front of you. And if you don't time that pass perfectly, or you don't let them know, you could come up to,
yeah,
like, let's say Thunder Valley or a little bit of a tight corner, and you try to pass on the left side of the guy that you're passing, or the right, depending on which way the turn goes. It could spell disaster for you guys. And how we do the IndyCar series over here, with it being a road course, 2 toes equals a caution. So if,
yeah.
for the people that haven't really been watching the IndyCar series, so let's say me, myself, and Mark Thomas are out there on the track. I hit Mark Thomas, and he breaks a left front and can't get to pit road. If he tows, he calls it out to race control, and race control will throw the caution for them so they can have that time to tow, get their pit stop done, and then come back out on track without losing a lap. That can only happen twice, though. These guys do get 2 fast repairs, and it's definitely going to be patience. Like I said, you don't want to burn your stuff up too quick. They do got to pit. They can't go right off the rip. The first initial start has to be on the leader as they come to the start finish line. So once Barty the flagman waves that green flag, it's off and popping. We're going to see a lot of bunch of spiciness going on, space shuttles taking off, and hopefully none of that scrap metal and sheet metal comes up to us up here in the booth. But anything can happen in this 30-minute race or a 30 lap race.
I'm wearing my personal protection just in case. Uh,
Definitely got to. But while we're getting ready to grid, I'll go ahead and run down these qualifying orders for you guys real quick. Alex Carver qualifying P number 1. Frankie Franchicha in second. Sahaj Padiyar, the teammate to Alex Carver, in third. Brandon Walker in fourth. Kevin Dixon in fifth. Derek Booker in sixth. Joe Morant in seventh. And Craig Hawkins in P number 8, as just because it says Dylan McDonald up there in P number 8, I promise you, I am not in the race. I am broadcasting. I just couldn't get in through the UI. Something was going on with the iRacing servers. Wasn't able to load in, so that's why you're going to see my name on the top 10 sheet there. But Mark, it's always been a pleasure having you in the booth with me, no matter what series it is, what night or anything, or even giving you an in-race reporter aspect. It's always good to have somebody that is a racer, knows what they're doing, and is up here in the booth with the broadcaster.
Well, in that case, I have no idea why you brought me up here because I have no idea what I'm doing. They put the car in front of me, tell me to turn the wheel, go fast, and if when there's a corner, just turn, and that's what I do. So,
Oh yeah, for sure. As
I've just been informed. Sorry, hold on, just 1 second. I've had race control talk to me. The race is now 30 laps and not 65.
The race is now 30 laps. I thought it was 30 laps. I did say 30 laps. Um,
You did say 30 laps. Sorry, it was just that I looked down at my screen, which is supposedly telling me all of the necessary information for the race, and it says 65. So I was a little confused. I just wanted to confirm. But yep, apparently it's been confirmed by race control that it will now be a 30 lap race.
yeah, I mean, with how fast these cars go, you're definitely going to see this race go by pretty quickly if these guys can
Oh yeah,
keep it green. I mean, you got a little bit of a carousel section, you got a double apex left-hander, you got kind of a little bit of a corkscrew get ready to come up to the start finish line. So you definitely got to be aware of what's around you, how you attack these corners. I did read in Discord, Derek Booker really wasn't looking forward to this track, but he's giving his best effort tonight as we only have 8 guys out here. But hey, racing is racing. These guys will show up week in and week out to keep the series going. So if you guys are looking for a series, make sure you guys go to www.coreracingleague.com. Hit the apply now button. Fill out anything that you want to get in on. This is a free series. Anybody is welcome. It very well known community. I met Mark through here through the GT3 stuff. I believe that's
yeah,
when you came into core, and ever since then, I mean, I've seen you in Premiere, I've seen you in the Vintage, I've seen you do a lot of stuff. So just because there's one series that you don't like, there may be another series that you do like. And that's something that Core does offer. There's always going to be people in the Discord to help you no matter what. I'll help you in the 87s just because that's my specialty car. Mark, you know that. I'll help anybody. I helped Abby last season. I'll help anybody that needs the help. You got great admins: Carl, Jimmy, Paul,
yeah,
Eric, Kevin. If there's a car track combo that you're not too familiar with, don't be afraid to reach out and ask for some help. They're always here to help you. They're always going to be there to help you no matter what happens. They will always be in your corner to help you improve and get faster. But if you do want to join any league, we run pretty much every day but Fridays and Saturdays. Series all over the schedule. I mean, we got ARCA Car starting up next Tuesday night. We got the Indy Cars on Wednesday. We got Vintage on Thursday. We got Premiere, different car, different tracks on Sunday. Monday, we got the GT3, GT4. I mean, anything you guys would like to get in on, just go to the Core Racing League website, hit apply now, jump in the Discord, and pick a number. See what series would interest you into getting these guys out here with us. And make sure if you are watching, make sure you like, share, subscribe. It is free to do, so make sure you do give us a little bit of a thumbs up on the people that are watching. Got to give a big shout out to Barry Kistler. He's always here every week. He was just rooting me on in the 87 series, and now he's over here watching the IndyCar series as we get ready to go green here. The Porsche pace car is going to duck off into pit road, and it is Alex Carver going to lead them out to green.
yeah. Evening, Barry. I hope you're well, my friend.
As we are not green just yet. Going up and over the hill. I forgot Road America does have that hill that you have to get
Yeah.
around. But Alex Carver is going to get a good launch right off the top, going down into turn number one. Frankie Franchicha holding strong on that outside. He loves this track. He was looking forward to it. He's not an oval guy. He's more of road, but he has been doing a little bit more oval than road as of recent. Just trying to keep up with these guys that do a little bit more oval, as we are still too wide there with Brandon Walker and Sahaj Patiar. Sahaj going to drop back behind Brandon Walker, and they're all single file now. So you definitely see not a lot of people want to be double file as they get ready to go through Thunder Valley.
Oof. Yeah, yes. God, blimey, they are absolutely chipping for the first lap on cold tyres. That's the other thing that you're going to have to be a little careful of, especially around here. Uh,
Oh, and
you
we got a
need to get these
crash.
tyres up to.
Derek Booker has spun it out. We're going to go ahead and go back to a CRN replay here. Going to see exactly what happened to the number 86 machine. Oh, it looks like somebody got loose behind him, got heavy onto the brakes. Not sure exactly who it was. He's going to go in there, hit the curb just a little bit too hard. No space shuttle, no liftoff. Able to keep it off the wall. And that's not going to warrant the first caution. He's going to get it turned back around, and we are still green. Jumping back up here, we're going to go ahead and go back up to our good battle here as Brandon Walker goes off the track, comes back on, loses 2 spots. Going into the final corner there, Sahaj Patiar, and it looks like Frankie Franchicha able to make those 2 passes on the number 101 of Brandon Walker, and that's the name of the game. There, I mean, I believe last season that's where a lot of people were having the mistakes there. Same with Laguna Seca, as you've seen it right there. Brandon Walker got a little bit too much of the curb and was able to keep it straight, but with there only being 1 lap on those tires, you're kind of playing with disaster, you could say. As you know, these cars, their steering is on point. You don't want to overcorrect, because the minute you try to overcorrect a car to get it back straight, it's going to go straight into the wall and or into another car.
Plus, with the heavy fuel loads that they're running right now, it's going. The car's not going to handle the same it is as when the car lightens up. So braking distances, brake bias is going to change on the fly. You're going to have to be on top of it to keep everything in check around here. You're already seeing a couple of slight little lockups, nothing major, but yeah, they're going to be real busy inside the cockpits right now, just trying to make sure that everything's set for them. Weight checker's in the right place, brake bias is correct. And then once the tires come up a temp, then you might have to adjust brake bias a little, just even on the fly. I know some of these guys, some of the top guys have even just brake bias per corner. So I don't know whether any of these guys are doing that right now, but yeah, it's incredibly complicated, especially with the Indy cars.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I've done a couple of the official races in the Delara IR18, like the oval side of the official races, and it's good for like the first 1 or 2 laps. Then after that, it's just like, I'm just going to turn right into the wall. Not really. It's more like you're going to get extremely tight following somebody, and it's
Yeah.
just a little bit too much to handle to some people that don't run these cars a lot. As we were about to have a pass there, Sahaj Patiar looking to the inside of the number 097 of Frankie Franchicha, not able to make the pass. But you've seen how much of that curb he used. Got up on 3 wheels, had 1 wheel off the ground, 3 wheels planted, and Brandon Walker still in that hunting position. If these two get to battling, Brandon Walker could be there for the taking.
Yeah, then while these three are battling, unfortunately, what they don't realise is that Alex is making good his escape. He is off because while these three are constantly trying to test each other and to try and push their breaking points just that little further to gain that little bit, Alex is just taking his line. He's keeping it smooth. He's keeping it calm. If they don't start working together, it's only going to end up hurting them all.
Oh yeah, for sure. And with these three battling, that's allowing Alex Carver to kind of pull away just a little bit. He's got a 2.2-second gap over Frankie Franchicha as of right now. But as it looked like Brandon Walker was looking to make a pass on the inside, not able to make it happen. But with that gap now dwindling down to 2.1, almost 2.0, Brandon Walker was able to go back off the track and able to bring it back on without causing any damage to that number 101 machine. But
Stay on the black stuff.
yeah, yes. See, listen to Mark, everybody. Stay on the black stuff. As Sahaj Patiar makes a good pass on Frankie Franchicha for P number 2. So move Sahaj in that number
Oh,
13 machine up to P number 2. Frankie Franchicha trying to make something work around him. Sahaj going to lock him
oh,
up, gets into the
yeah,
grass, able to keep it straight though.
yeah. Good control there. Good control there from Sarge. That's yeah, that's what happens when you try and push, especially with this stuff, and especially this early in the race. Just well, you know me. I tend to push a bit later on or let things set. Oh no, ooh, that was close.
Yeah, that was super close there. As Sahaj is still trying to get around Frankie Franchicha and Brandon Walker, but Brandon Walker just made the move around Frankie Franchicha there, and now they can start to. If if I'm running behind these guys, I'd want to stay in a good, solid line pack and try to catch the race leader. He is
Yeah,
4 seconds ahead as of right now, but they still have to pit. There's only 30 laps, and with that pit, anything can happen. You can get a pit road penalty. You can spin out trying to get down on the brakes. I mean, anything can happen. So you definitely want to make sure you keep your car clean. Don't want to use a fast repair if you don't need to. But these three right here, second, third, and fourth, they're battling really hard.
yeah, yeah. Good race though. Absolutely great race. Big run up the big up the long street.
And so far,
Sahaj looking for the move.
he's got the move on Frankie Franchicha. I was getting ready to say this is our biggest battle on track. Everybody else is kind of spread out. But as these three are battling, that's going to allow Kevin Dixon to close in the gap just a little bit more. As you've seen that number 99 of Kevin Dixon, PNC Bank, Delara 18 come into picture. And Sahaj Padiar back up to P number 3. Now he's going to try to get away from Frankie Franchicha as much as he possibly can and start working on that number 101 of Brandon Walker.
Yeah, a little look up from Sahaj there, but Brandon looks like he's settled himself in. He's got his groove. He's found his breaking points, and it looks like he might actually be trying to make the break here from these two fighting here, Sahaj and Frankie.
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, with Brandon being P number 2, that's a good place to sit. You don't have to worry about anybody kind of wrecking in front of you, except for the leader, if that were to happen. But with him having that 3.9-second gap, you got a little bit of time to be able to slow down and avoid it. As if Sahaj were to spin it right now in front of Frankie, Frankie's only got like a blink of an eye to react and see where he
Yep.
can put his car. So it's good to be up front. It's good to be in the back, but how far back do you need to be in order to miss miss or avoid an accident?
Well, I'm not quite sure that. Oh, it's so tight here, especially for these cars. You can tell that they are on the absolute limits of adhesion in points. Uh, you, they are running so close to the grass at points, just trying to get the runoff. Trying to get the power on one of these, I imagine, is not that simple, especially in some of the lower speed corners because you don't really have the downforce. So yeah, some of the slower speed corners, trying to get the gas on smoothly and in a controlled fashion. Yeah, I can imagine that being tricky.
Oh yeah, for sure. And anything road wise or oval for that matter, if you get anywhere near that grass, touch it or anything, and try to turn into a corner, that excuse me, that rear end is going to come around on you so quick, and you're not going to have any time to react. As I've had that happen at Watkins Glen, any other road course that I've done, I've forgot where the grass limits were, and tried to do the
Yeah.
spa 24 hour where I tire dipped, and it just didn't work out in my favor. So definitely got to keep an eye on that. As Sahaj Padiar is starting to catch up to Brandon Walker, pulling away from Frankie Franchicha, but Brandon Walker has cut that gap down from about no, actually, Alex Carver has made it up to 5 seconds now. They went from 4 up to 5, and Going through that part of the track there, as we just seen, Sahaj Padiyar was pretty much drifting all the way around. As we have the number 80, he ended up electing to tow. Not sure if they're going to call a caution or not. As we're going to go ahead and go back and see what happened to Craig Hawkins. So, as we see here, where's my cursor? There it is. Craig Hawkins just getting off track and just coming to a complete stop, and not sure.
Yeah, enough's enough. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. It is, as he has taken his car behind the wall, so major complications for the number 80 of Craig Hawkins. You hate to see it, as we are 7 laps in of this 30 lap race. You definitely got to pit. So now the question becomes this, Mark. Would you short pit or would you cut this race in half with it being 30 laps?
Ah, you see, I'm not sure because at the moment, right now, if you're caught in this train, do you want to come out or do you want to utilize the toe of the guy in front of you just to try and help your pace, or is the time that you're losing to the aero wash from being behind him offsetting the need to come into the pit? Uh, I mean, what even is your tire wear like at this point? I think that's going to be the key. Is working out how the car's feeling. Does it still feel good? Are you dropping lap time? I mean, the lap times look fairly consistent to me right now, so I would still be out there right now, just plugging around and waiting to see what some of the other guys do because I don't think anyone's been in the pit as of yet. So you know, you still got 22 to go.
Yeah, 22 laps to go. We are on lap 8 out of 30. It does say 65, but this race is only scheduled for a 30 lap main event. So definitely going to see who can hold off and get there for first and or second. Or well, actually, this is the third race of the season as we had a doubleheader last night. We had the Kansas Road Oval, or Kansas Road race. Then we had the Kansas Oval race right after it. And definitely going to see what these guys can do on week number 2, but race number 3.
Yeah, it looks like Alex is in his groove and is now starting to push the point a little. Maybe trying to push that gap out so that he can take that early stop and put himself in clean air and yeah, you don't want to be taking your pit stop and then having to pass other guys if you necessarily have to. So I think maybe Alex is now on a mission now to try and make that gap as big as possible, so that when he does come out, he's got himself a nice bit of fresh air to run in.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, with fresh air means a lot. When you're behind somebody, like I said earlier, just before we went green, being behind somebody, you get super tight. You don't want to do something that could possibly hinder your chances at a race win or even wreck your car. So with Brandon Walker being the lead car of this second pack here, he's not saving enough fuel as it looks
Oh,
like. Oh, a good block by the number 101, but they're going to be side by side going into turn number 1. Sahaj Padiyar able to make it work on the outside, gets around Brandon Walker. So Brandon Walker's going to drop back down to P number 3. Sahaj Padiyar locks him up, able to keep it on the track. So as I seen there, that has been a trouble spot for a lot of these drivers.
um, as I say, I don't really run the Delara a lot, so I'm kind of curious. I know that that's what they do in F1, but are the different colours on the tyres the different compounds? Because if so, Sahar is running what would apparently look like a hard compound tyre compared to Brandon, who's running the softs. So he might be looking to go really long in his first stint and come in, stick the softs on for the second set, and push on.
Yeah, you did see there Sahaj Patiar running the different compound than Brandon Walker. As Brandon Walker had a little bit of incident there, we're going to go ahead and look back here, see what exactly happened to Brandon Walker. It said, no, maybe it is the same corner. He's had problems in this corner before. Goes way off track. Nope, this is a different corner. This is going through Thunder Valley here. Just hits that little bit of gravel, ends up getting it slowed down to where he doesn't lose too much time on Frankie Franchicha. We're going to go ahead and go back to the live scene here as Frankie Franchicha ends up getting around Brandon Walker. And now Brandon Walker and Frankie Franchicha, if Brandon Walker can get back up to the number 097, we could have another good battle. But back here in the back, it looks like Joe Morant and Derek Booker, they're getting ready to have a little bit of a battle back here. Joe Morant did run the truck series with you, Mark Thomas, last
Yep.
season. Ended up coming over here to the IndyCar series, and he hasn't really looked bad at all. No,
No.
everybody out here that runs the IndyCars, they know what they're doing. The other ones, they don't, but they're just looking to have a little bit of fun. There's nothing really on the table other than, yeah, I won a championship in the IndyCar series as Sahaj Patiar was able to get the first one. And now we're going to see if he can go back to back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough series. This is like a tough series, but interesting. I mean, there's not a lot. There's not a lot really when it comes down to. Oh no, that's enough.
Joe Morant and Derek Booker both end up wrecking there. We're going to go ahead and go back to a quick caution replay here. As, oh, Derek Booker just
Oh,
locks him up. Joe Morant, no
no
space
place to go.
shuttle. Yeah, no space shuttle, no spicy lift off there. As the 86-8 was the one to tow. No caution as of yet. Maybe he didn't want the caution, but just locked him up. And there it is. We
There's
do
a
have
caution.
a caution, and the the 013 just had nowhere to go, like you said, Mark. I mean, Derek Booker made the dive to the right side or the left side of the number 013. Had the pass made, just locked him up. Probably missed his braking zone. Wasn't familiar with that braking zone, passing another car and just didn't end up going his way. So let's go to bring out the first caution, and it's going to stack everybody up. So with this caution being on lap number 11, do you go ahead, pit, take that second set of tires, change
If
from alternates or softs, or do you keep the same tires that you're running as of right now and just take fuel?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was kind of contemplating while you're actually saying the exact same thing. I was doing the math in my mind. Sahaj is, he's running the hard compound, and his paces look fairly consistent. Now, I'm not quite sure how long those softs are going to last, but I mean, right now, I think if it was me, 11 laps in, you're almost halfway, and with the consistency that those alternates have been running, or the hard compounds have been running, I think I would probably come in now, try and fuel to the end if you can make it onto to the end on a single tank, stick those hards on, and just get down and try and make it happen.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and see who's all in Discord here. We'll actually go ahead and bring in the number 013 of Joe Morant. Haven't ever really talked to Joe Morant here, but Joe, you are in the broadcast booth with Dylan and Mark Thomas. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, man, go ahead.
All right, buddy. Well, we were just watching that incident between you and the 86 Derek Booker. It looks like he just made the hard dive to get around you, missed his braking zone, locked him up, and you being you just had nowhere to go. I was talking to my fellow commentator here, and we're kind of seeing what the strategy is. Are you going to take the time to go down pit road, see if you can make it on fuel? And are you going to stick with the set of tires that you have on, or are you going to switch to a different compound?
I'm going to stick to the same compound that I got on right now. I've got the alternative on, and it seems to be working pretty well. I am going to go ahead and pit and get some new tires on this thing. I pretty much burned them up getting in the corners, so we'll see how it goes.
Oh yeah, for sure. You definitely got to do anything you possibly can to try to get a little bit of track position. I don't know if you have any fuel calculator or anything. Uh, in practice, was there any type of laps that you could go on a single set with your fuel or anything like that?
Not necessarily. I put this week. I put in probably 150, 175 laps in just in practice, and I alternated in between the two tire compounds. I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to the fuel on how that was going to go. So honestly, it's a guessing game for me.
Everything is a guessing game, especially when you're running road courses and even ovals. I mean, you definitely want to be the first one into pit road, but you definitely don't want to be the last, as it works either way.
Absolutely.
Mark, you've done it. I've done it. Joe, you've
Oh yeah.
done it as well. So we're definitely going to see exactly what you can do to get down pit road, get the track position that you need, and hopefully you can get that track position up to the front and try to hold these guys off that are going to be possibly taking newer tires.
Absolutely.
All right, buddy. Well, we're going to go ahead and send you back up there, and hopefully, we'll be talking to you at the end.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
All right, that was Joe Morant in the number 013 machine. As you heard it there, he did a lot of practice for this race, but wasn't really paying attention to the fuel load calculations. And not going to lie, I just watched Alex Carver come out of pit road, and he almost went over that blue line with his left front, so not sure if iRacing will give him a penalty or not, but that was pretty close. And uh, there is a guy that does run the IndyCar series that's going to also be in the booth with me on Tuesday nights when the ARCA series starts. That is Ricky Pit Penalty Gonzalez, as we had to change his nickname to fit his core motto there, as that championship race at Kansas. Sorry, Ricky, if you're watching this, that core
Yeah.
Kansas race, he ended up getting a pit penalty and cost him the championship. But as it sits right now, Frankie Franchicha did not pit. So Frankie
Yeah.
Franchicha is going to be on the oldest tires out of the whole field, the less amount of fuel. So unless there's another quick caution, Frankie Franchicha might have just made his bed.
I was thinking the same thing, and he's on the alternates.
Ooh.
So, yeah, I'm not sure about tire warm up for these. But on a light fuel load, it might give him the advantage he's looking for. Um, it's a bold move, especially this early on. Especially with Alex riding behind you, he is not going to be easy to hold off that much. I can tell you for certain. Um, but yeah, I'm kind of liking the bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out.
Oh yeah, for sure. We're definitely going to see what Frankie Franchicha can do. We know he's quick. We know he can do what
Yep.
he can do behind the wheel, especially on a road course. We've talked to the man plenty of times already. You know how he is on road. I think Frankie Franchicha might be able to hold these guys off, but you see there, Sahaj and Alex Carver both staying on the same tires. So wonder if they did not use as much tire compound as somebody with the soft compound or anything like that. So definitely going to see who took new tires, who didn't, and we're going to see them go from the back to the front. As it sits right now, we are lap number 12 out of 30. So almost to the halfway point. Not there just yet, but it is going to be a spicy evening as these guys get ready to go back green. Pace car still has the lights on as of right now, but definitely going to see what these guys can do coming to the halfway point and later in the race. Brandon Walker out there saying, love the accident. And then John Obinger, go for launch for the space shuttles. And Barry Kistler, we want to say thank you for always being there supporting the CRN booth.
Absolutely.
Core Racing League, everything that you do outside of Core, we want to say thank you for the continued love, share, and support that you bring us. And definitely want to see you. How about next week? We get Barry in the booth with us, Mark.
Oh, I think that's an excellent suggestion.
Yeah, he's always there in the broadcast watching.
Yep.
How about he gets in the booth with us and calls the action? I might have to phone up Carl Handwork and tell him to get his uncle on the old computer and bring him up into the broadcast booth with us.
Yeah, yeah. I think this is an excellent suggestion. More the merrier.
Oh yeah, for sure. Always would love to see these guys come out here and anybody that wants to get into broadcasting, it always do it whenever you possibly can. It's always fun to do. You get to try new stuff. It's something different. Mark, you're a racer. I'm a racer, but being in the booth watching these guys race, I'm like, yes, finally, a series I don't have to worry about wrecking myself
Yeah,
in.
I was just kind of thinking the same thing myself. Yeah, these cars look like a real handful to me. I might actually just have to buy one just to see how I go with one because I mean the racing looks great, but ooh, yeah, they look like especially on a road course, they could be quite tricky to get round in one piece without losing bits of wing or aero or all of the rest of it. But yeah, my hat goes off to these guys because trying to get these things round, and especially some of the lap times I've been seeing, there's some definite skill out there. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think the biggest problem with me when I run these Delara IR18s or any open wheel car for that matter, I go into a braking zone thinking I got to brake a little bit harder than normal and I lock them up every single time. And
Yeah,
with me being on sticky pedals, the Logitech G29s, I do have Fanatec V3s that I got from Christopher Hamilton. Just haven't had the time to hook them up, sadly, and they don't fit on my stand as of right now, so I don't really want them to be slipping and sliding everywhere while I'm trying to race. So I'm still stuck on the still stuck on the sticky pedals. So I mean, you barely hit the brake in these IR18s, depending on what track you're at. You're going to lock up either the left front or the right front, depending on which way you're turning. And like we've seen tonight, we've seen Sahaj lock them up, Brandon Walker. Uh,
yeah.
I mean, it's just you gotta know how much brake you have to apply. So I think, Mark, since you got all the connections and you're in the UK, you need to phone up Max Verstappen, get him in our Discord, and have him show us how to run these IR18s.
Man, if I knew Max Verstappen, I'd delete his number. No, um, yeah, I think pedal feel. I think pedal feels is a lot. I'm quite blessed, really. I kind of got my hand on a really nice set of pedals, so yeah, I was quite lucky with that when it come down to it. Um, but but I mean, you see a lot of these guys who run like the top of the top of the oval series, and they're still running like G29 Logitech pedals and stuff like that. So I kind of see it, but with a road course, it's slightly different because pedal feel is critical. To be able to just drag that brake in just a little and have the feel for it. Yeah, yeah, you kind of need it.
Oh yeah, looking back here, Joe Morant in the 86, both going off track there. Gonna go ahead and take a look back here, going into turn number one. Not sure exactly what happened. Maybe another incident with the number 86 locking them up, just not getting into the braking zone here. And that's exactly what he does. Right in front of the 13. Oh, we might have to
Oh,
rewind that. I wonder if the 13 got around that. As we're gonna go ahead and take another quick little look here. Gonna go to the gyro. here and see exactly what happened between the number
Oh,
013.
he had to get a little hard.
Oh, he got
Oh, he's
around it
missed it.
though.
He missed it. Fair play.
Yes,
Joe, what a move.
yeah, that was a hell of a move there as Joe was able to get around that. And you heard him in his pre race interview or in race reporting. He just wants to take his time. He doesn't want to just go out there, run quick laps, get up to the front, do what he needs to do. He just wants to take his time. You may never know. He might be able to make it on fuel with the way that he's running. Where, as in, Brandon Walker up here battling with Alex Carver, you haven't seen Alex Carver get into traffic as of right now, but now look at him go. He's right behind Brandon Walker, trying to get around that number 101 machine. Brandon gets into the dirt just a little bit, ends up getting a little bit sideways, and that's going to set up a good run going down the front stretch here. Alex Carver's going to look to his inside, well, the right side of Brandon Walker, going to complete that pass going into turn number one. He's going to come up and block the number 101. Brandon Walker moves back down to P number 4, Alex Carver in P number 3, but Sahaj Padiyar P number 2, and then Frankie Franchicio on the oldest tires, still holding on
Yep,
to that lead by over a second.
yep.
As it looks like Alex Carver's trying to break that draft of the number 101, not wanting him to be right back up on his back bumper. And you see there, they're using a lot of that curb. I don't know, maybe if the curb helps you turn just a little bit more as the run
You can
goes on. But Alex
you,
Carver's using every little bit of that curb that he can.
you can actually use a fair bit of that right hand side coming into that tight left. That's an old GT3 trick. Is you actually go right over so that your left hand wheel is riding on that curb. To because that's a really sharp left, which enables you to actually then take a really late apex and get a good drive out of that corner. So the fact that they're coming over over that far just goes to show the skill and the track knowledge that some of these guys are actually using, knowing that they can come over quite as far as they can to straighten that left hand out.
All right. Well, now I know for sure. As now, whenever the GT3 series goes to Road America, I'm gonna keep that in mind, Mark. And I'm going to try to do that and replicate it. Even though I'm not the greatest, not the fastest at Road America, I'll do it if I need to. I'll do anything as long as I can get through the track when I need to. But Frankie Franchicha up to a 2.8-second lead over Sahaj Padiyar. Alex still trying to close down the gap of Sahaj Padiyar, not able to do so, still over 3 seconds. And but he's losing time to Frankie Franchicha, which is quite amazing considering he is on the oldest set of tires and fuel.
Yeah, and those alternates seem to have come into their own on the second stint. So maybe a cycle of the compound, which is when the compound heats up. You take the top surface off, the carcass heats and then cools, and it slightly changes the durability and the consistency on the second run of the rubber. Might have played into Frankie's hands here because he seems to be absolutely relishing in the handling of that car right now. I've just got him up on my own screen right now, and he's smooth as butter. I will say this: he's absolutely just dripping that car around that track.
Yeah, he did say in his interview last week he loved Road America, was looking forward to it, and this is why he was looking forward to it. I mean, he had a 3 second gap, went back down to 2.8, 2.9, but he's doing something that nobody else could do. He's on older tires after the whole field pit, and he is making it his own race. You don't see
Yeah,
that a lot, especially in ovals. Mark, let's say, in the vintage series, we go a whole 40 lap run. You're not going to see myself or you take no tires and just field, knowing that we have a lot more laps left. You're going to see people take 4 tires or 2 tires and
Yep.
fuel. So Franchicha is still taking that big risk of running out of fuel, but he does like to play a little bit of a fuel conserve mode as we are on lap 17 out of 30. So we're definitely going to see if Frankie Franchicha can make it on pit road or make it to the checkered flag without pitting this whole race. And if he can, that's going to be a tough task to follow as these guys behind him are coming up with fresh tires, more fuel. So they're definitely going to be able to make it, if I'm not mistaken, as Alex Carver is bringing the 101 and the 99 up to the number 13 of Sahaj Patiar. So you're definitely going to see a battle within the next 2 to 3 laps.
Yeah. Yeah. What I will say is I've been watching Frankie for the past lap, and so I don't think I've seen him miss an apex yet. He's just absolutely nailing every single corner, and I think that is probably why he's managing to make those tires work for him the way that he has. He's coming in. He's coming in the pits right now.
So Frankie Franchicha going into pit road this time by. Now I'm not sure. Oh, Sahaj Patiar in as well. So Sahaj and Frankie Franchicha both into pit road. Not sure if they know if they can make it or not, but want to stay on the safe side. Go to fill up with fuel. Definitely going to see what Frankie does here. If he takes tires or if he just takes fuel, as it is.
Curious to see whether he goes for the red soft compounds.
He is now in the pit lane. Car goes up, so he did take tires. Not sure if he took 2 fronts or 2 rears. In an IndyCar, it's a little bit different than he stayed on alternates, Mark. He did not
Yeah.
change the softs. So a good,
Oof.
bold strategy by that number 097. Got out ahead of the number 13, but now they're going to be banking on a caution. What do? Do they really need that caution to get the field stacked back up? Are they going to bank on the 079, the Brandon Walker, Kevin Dixon, Joe Morant to pit and see exactly what they can do?
Did Sahaj take fuel in the caution? Did he take? I can't remember if he came in. I thought Frankie was the only one who left out.
Yeah, I
If
thought
so, then
yeah, I thought
fuel
Frankie
strategy.
Franchicho was the only one that stayed out, but I guess not. Maybe with the number 13 of Sahaj Patiar getting a little bit loose in a couple of corners, maybe he just needed a fresh set of tires. I mean, Core Racing League, the tires are free, the gas is free, so use them when you can, you know?
Yeah,
As I learned that the hard way my first season of Vintage. I was like, oh, we only ran like, 5, 6 laps. I'll be all right. Nobody's going to pit. And the whole field pit. And I got stuck like a sitting duck. And I'm
yeah,
like, oh, this is. And then I realized, hey,
yeah,
we got unlimited tires. That's why, like, ever since that happened, it doesn't matter if we go green the whole way. I am saving tire. And if we have a caution, I am pitting on every single caution. Because you may never
yeah,
know. I have that mindset. Okay, if we get one caution, you may never know. We could straighten it up. No more cautions. So I want to make sure I have the freshest tires, the most gas, to where I can double what they're doing for stint length, and then I have one less stop to make than they do.
yeah, yeah. I'm kind of with you. The whole tire strat thing is very different. Um, I run in another league, and they only give you 2 sets, so you have to be a little bit more careful when you take when you do your tire stops, because you can't take a fresh set with every stop. Uh, but again, this just adds another element into this, because I have seen guys come in on the first part of the caution, go round for a lap, and then come in again and take another fresh set of tyres, just because in that one lap they might have put 1%, 2% on tyres, and they want that ultra fresh rubber for when that race starts.
Oh, yeah. I mean, with me, like you may never know. The race could go green the whole way. Anything can happen. You always gotta keep that
Yeah.
what if in the back of your head. I mean, I with the way that the iRacing has updated all these cars, new damaged models, new tire models, this and that, it's going to take these drivers a little bit longer to get used to these new damage tire, fuel, anything that they change on that car. The driver has to learn to adapt quickly. I know for a fact I know how to save tire in the 87. Uh, just one of those cars that I have a knack for that I never want to lose. As we have a battle for the lead here, as Brandon Walker has caught the number 079 of Alex Carver. Alex Carver going to lock him up going into the double apex left-hander up underneath that Corvette sign and then down into, I believe this is Thunder Valley, if I'm not mistaken.
Turn 13 is Thunder Valley. That's you've got Canada Corner. If we stay here, I will try and point them out. There was an off there from, I believe that was Brandon.
Yeah, caught just a little bit of it. You know, Brandon Walker ended up going through the grass, able to keep it straight.
Yeah,
No
they
space shuttle, though.
that's the kink that Alex has come through now, coming into what's known as Canada Corner, and then this little section just after Canada Corner, that's Thunder Valley,
Okay, see, that's why. See, I'm a no vice road guy.
right here.
I just, I see. I thought Thunder Valley was the one with a sign that said Speedville.
Uh, I don't know. I'm not. Again, this is. Yeah, if it was UK tracks, I'd be better off. But I'm pretty sure that yeah, turn
I
Canada Corner is that
think,
bottom right. Apparently, really good stands at Canada Corner. If you ever go to the real life racetrack, that's the place that you want to go if you want to see some action.
yeah. So where it looks like the carousel is, I always thought that was Thunder Valley. Like it's the sign with the black fire sign that says Speedville. I thought that was Thunder Valley. I mean, that's where everybody's flying through. But then again, I
You know
get
what?
it.
Go Google. I'm gonna Google that right now because otherwise, if I don't, it's just
So
gonna drive
it
me
is
absolutely
this
crazy.
part of the track coming up. He's gonna make the quick right hander through that kink and go through the track here. And this is the part of the track where I was talking about, as it could be called Thunder Valley, as he gets ready to go up underneath the sign Speedville Johnson Bratwurst. Johnsonville Bratwurst, by the way, as Mark's getting that tallied up on Google. We will definitely see which one is Speed or Thunder Valley and which one's, well, we already know what Canadian Corner is, and hopefully we may never know. Mark might be right. I might be right. I just look at it as another left and right hand corner. As it looked like Alex Carver got a little bit loose there, able to keep it clean and straight. But Sahaj Patiar back there in P number 6. Not sure exactly what happened to Sahaj. And there goes the number 079 into pit road. And Brandon Walker will get credited for leading that lap. Now, with Frankie Franchicha being so far back, maybe Frankie can make it back out and or make it around Alex Carver before he comes out. It's going to be close as he just came out of the corner and getting ready to cross the start finish line just now. And it looks like Frankie Franchicha is able to do so.
Yep. Sorry to break it to you.
You were right.
Yeah, yeah. Turn 12. The big stop at the where are they right now? Let me see if I can pull this.
Brandon Walker is getting ready to go through the carousel, it looks like, as Joe Morant gets pushed off track there by the number 079. The 079
Yep.
just came out of pit road. He took new tire or fuel, and I believe he did switch over to soft compound
Yeah.
here. He's using all that track. Look at that car bounce like it's got hydraulics. Throw some D's on it, you know what I'm saying? But still having fun out here. These guys are making it work. As it looked like Brandon Walker is now in. It looks like a little bit of an S section. Is that Thunder Valley that you're talking about?
No, I'm just trying to.
So actually, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and go to We'll go to Derek
Oh,
Book.
Carver's off.
Carver is
Alex has
off
just.
track, able to save it. Does a little bit of a
Nice save.
drift. We're gonna go ahead and move this to the the gyro
Okay,
cam,
there's the kink. That was the kink. Um,
and then this corner
coming
right
up to.
here is Thunder Valley.
No, this is Canada Corner. This sharp right. This here, this is Thunder Valley because of the trees.
Oh, okay.
And then you've got, this is Bill Mitchell Bend. And then you come out onto the main street. And apparently, according to this, that bridge over there is Caterpillar Bridge. I have no idea why. That's just what it says.
Probably because when a caterpillar crawls, its back like lifts up, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? I'm not a road guy. I don't know the terminologies. Like I couldn't tell you one single quarter. Like at Spa, the only quarter I know is El Rouge. That's it.
Yeah. Eau Rouge leads out onto Puyo.
Eh,
Hey, you like my accent there? Did you like it? Hey, hey.
Gotta love it. But yeah, obviously, if I were to do a lot more road racing, I would know exactly what these quarters like. Um, what's another
This
one?
is Corvette Bridge because of the big Corvette sign right across the top of it.
See, I wouldn't mind having a Corvette, but being a big guy, I wouldn't fit.
Uh, yeah, we don't do big stuff over here. I mean, we've got little dinky roads that, I mean, would take up, your Corvette would take up our entire road.
As it looks like Alex Carver, I'm going to take another lap around with this guy, seeing
It's
how
just
much.
come out of the carousel, coming up to the kink now.
And this is just a regular kink right there. And
Ooh.
then
Into Canada, yeah, coming down to Canada. You're right.
Canada corner.
Canada
Well, I
corner
was
here.
going to call it Canadian quarter. I don't know why, but Canada
And
corner
then,
there, and then Thunder Valley.
yeah, and then through Thunder Valley. Called Thunder Valley because apparently it sounds like thunder when you're going through the trees.
Well, that's a good terminology. Then what are they supposed to call Bristol Motor Speedway? Because they call that Thunder Valley too, but there's no trees around Bristol.
Huh. I have no idea.
Us with weird names for racetracks, you guys with weird names for turns. It just, you know.
We're just a little warped. That's all I can say. I mean, we like to
Oh,
name everything.
Sahaj Patiar off track and
Ooh.
into the wall. Not sure exactly what happened there. Going to go ahead and go back to a quick report here. Sahaj Patiar taking a ride with him, able to keep up with the number 079 and just got off the. That was.
Oh.
Ah.
Yeah. As soon as that car hit the grass, it was over.
Yeah, I mean, you can see he's trying to get that car slowed down. He locked up the left or the right front. And then once he hit the grass, he's doing everything he can with the wheel. You can see him there. He's trying to get it to not hit the wall, but in three, two, one, Houston, we have liftoff. As you're going to see here,
Damn.
that left front is going to come detached, looking like the Annabelle doll that you see in the movies. But you hate to see it. Sucks to suck. You just don't ever want to see a good championship contender getting taken out that way. As Sahaj Petiar is out and took his car behind the wall.
And unfortunately, that just goes back to what we were talking about earlier. It only takes one mistake around here, and it is over. The grass offers virtually no traction at all, especially for these open wheels. With with those super slick tires spread out, that kind of low speed, the downforce isn't there to push on the tires. As soon as you hit that grass, you might as well just take your hands off the wheel and pray for a soft landing.
Oh yeah, soft landing, no soft landing. Who needs it? You know, I mean, hey, it happens. I speaking of which, I had my race tonight in ECRC. In practice, just before practice ended, I barely hit the wall at Nashville Fairgrounds, and my car like did a rocket ship move, spun around 360 in the air, and reset me in the pits.
Wow.
I don't know if you've ever played it. NASCAR 15 on PS3 or Xbox 360. They had this thing called the wall glitch, and if you like at Bristol, Dover, Auto Club, Michigan, if you hit the wall at the right spot, it would ricochet your car off so hard that one, if you did it at Bristol, you'd fly over the pit road wall, catch your car on fire, and be done for the rest of the race. If you did it at Dover, you did the same thing, but you landed on pit road wall. Auto Club, since you got more room, you just pirouetted through the air, singing "We Are the Champions." Um, I mean, it's just that's what it reminded me of, and I don't know if it's because of the new update that these guys gave us, but it seems like a little bit of damage in any kind of car, and it just ruins your whole race.
Yeah, to be brutally honest with you, and I've only been sim racing what, 2.5 years. iRacing was my first actual proper sim race sim. So yeah, I never did NASCAR Heat. I think I might have played a little Gran Turismo 2 back in the day when it was on like PS2 or PS3. But that was never, that was just for just for giggles, really. But yeah, I've only been sim racing. I'm still a relative noob.
Oh yeah, I excuse me. I came from NASCAR 15 on the PS3, then I went to the PS4, played all the NASCAR Heat series except for NASCAR 21. I got the computer in 2020 when COVID first hit. So they call me a
Yeah.
COVID racer. Hey, I get it. I understand.
Yep.
And I just, I haven't looked back. But the 101 of Brandon Walker and Kevin Dixon both in the pit road, that's going to give Frankie Franchicha the lead here
Yeah.
as he's going to come back around the stripe. He's going to take the lead from Brandon Walker, so move Frankie Franchicha back up to P number one. And maybe, just maybe, Alex Carver can get around the number 101 in 99 as he does. So move Alex Carver back up to P number two, but he's got 9 seconds. Do you think Alex Carver, with the fresher tires, fresher everything, can track down the number 097?
I'm trying to get I'm trying to get a look at the lap times. He has been he's been making progress. Whether or not he's going to have enough in the next 3 laps, because there is only 3 laps remaining to close down a whole 8 seconds of time. I'm not sure it's there. I think that the single pit stop and the early stop from Frankie and to go back out on the alternates, I think was a masterstroke. Really, it seems to have played straight into his hands.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there is 4 laps left of this race. Alex Carver has taken that lead down from 9 seconds down to eight, and if he doesn't make any mistakes, he could be there on the final lap. But he's got to make up over two seconds a lap
2 second lap. Yeah,
in order to
that's a
make it a
tough
good.
ask.
Yeah, that is a tough task unless you're Max Verstappen or Lewis Hamilton or whoever F1 guy that you like. I'm a nobody fan because I don't watch F1 due to me being at work. But if I had to pick a F1 driver that I would follow, it would have to be Daniel Ricciardo.
Oh, the Smiler from Australia. I love that man. He's just absolutely epic. He laughs
The
just at
only
everything.
the only reason why I like Daniel Ricciardo is because he took Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s number 3 car around the track. I forget where it was, but he drove the 87 car, did a nice burnout, by the way. Who knew Formula One car drivers could do burnouts the way that NASCAR does burnouts and do it 10 times better, you know? Like,
Well, he's Australian, so he's used to driving that big V8 pad stuff. I mean, if it had been a Brit, we wouldn't have had no idea because all we drive is little four pots. Yeah, no, that big V8 stuff. Yeah, they love it out there in Australia. So I'm not surprised he I'm not surprised he knows how to do a burnout. We have no clue over here. All we've got is 4 cylinders and turbos. That's all we have.
hey, you can still do a burnout in a turbo engine powered car.
Yeah, you just have to not worry about the clutch.
It's called you dump the clutch, push the brake as hard as you possibly can, mash the gas, and go to town. Hopefully,
That's
you
the one.
don't have a space shuttle come out of your
Yeah, yeah.
hood. As Australia's got the summer knots. They got the big event during the middle of summer where guys from all over the world, USA, Cletus McFarland. I don't know if you're familiar with Cletus McFarland, but he actually went to Australia and did the burnout skid. They call it a skid contest. And basically, you take your supercharged V8s, blower motor cars that uses methanol, and just you start in the back, just rev the engine, dump the clutch, do a long freaking burnout all the way into a bigger pad, and you just whip it around doing 360s, never lifting off the gas. And that to
Well,
me, that is freedom right there. You know what I'm saying? That is a bunch of bald eagles underneath the hood. But as it sits right now, that we got kind of carried away there, Brandon Walker has caught the number 079 of Alex Carver. You've seen there, Alex Carver was trying to get that draft broken off the number 101, but with the 101 having a little bit more fresher tires than the 079, as the 079 is playing a little bit of Tokyo Drift there. Now, Brandon Walker might be able to get around the number 079 of Alex Carver, but that gap between first and second has diminished down to 7 seconds, but still not enough to get to Frankie Franchicha, our race leader.
no, no, I think he's played this to perfection. But yeah, this race for second, I think is going to get real spicy real soon.
Oh yeah, you can see there Brandon Walker all over the back bumper, that number 079. Now this is where we've seen a little bit of trouble. Gonna be able to do a little bit of a crossover move, not gonna be able to make it happen. Super close quarter racing there. If that was Lewis Hamilton, he would have said he chopped my nose off. As
Yep. Yeah. Oh, a little bit late. Is he gonna?
oh,
Oh,
what a save! You want to talk about getting spicy? Alex
you,
Carver doing what he can to keep that car straight, and that has to be a CRN top 10 save of the month. As Alex Carver almost just demolished his car, but able to keep it straight. Now, what does he do? Does he run it super aggressive and super hard to get back up past the number 101 of Brandon Walker, or is he just being content running P number 3?
well, he's gonna have the toe. So I don't know. This is going to be tricky, but I'm slightly concerned that he's killed those tires trying to catch Frankie. I mean, you can see he's absolutely on the ragged edge. That little lock up from the left front as he comes in uh, just before Corvette, and then yeah, it's gonna be tough. If Brandon's been super careful on those tires, especially on the fresher rubber, he's going to be hard to catch.
Yeah, and you can see there, Brandon Walker has taken that gap down to 6.1 to 6 seconds now. So unless something happens and he does a couple of good dives through this whole track. He could be right back up on the back bumper, the numero 097 of Frankie Franchicha, but not going to be able to happen as Frankie goes through Canada corner into Thunder Valley for the final time tonight. We're going to go ahead and switch over to Frankie Franchicha here as he gets ready to take it through the final corner, hit all of his apex completely flawlessly, and Frankie Franchicha will be our race winner tonight at Road America. Second place. Oh, Brandon Walker spun it out. Oh
He did
no.
not.
Brandon Walker on the final corner. Going to go ahead and go back to a quick replay here. Had a good gap on Alex Carver. Got in the dirt. Did what? Oh, Space Shuttle.
Oh.
It's time as we get John Buffer into the booth next week with us. Just kidding, everybody. But able to get it back going under power. But you see that right front wheel just dangling all alone as Brandon Walker was able to finish P number 3. And from then on, we have in fourth. Oh no, Joe Morant.
What?
What?
There's got to be.
Yeah,
It's
I
got to
don't
be an.
think Joe Morant finished second. I think Joe Morant finished fourth.
Well, according to this, Joe Moran has just won. So I'm really not sure what.
We will
What?
actually get a hold of race control. See exactly. Actually, pretty sure our top 3 might be in the broadcast waiting room. Alex Carver is in the broadcast waiting room. He did finish P number 2. Uh, yeah, it was. So it was Frankie Franchicha with the race win. Not Brandon Walker. Alex Carver in second, and it
Brandon for
was
third?
Brandon Walker in P number 3.
Yeah.
As we're gonna wait for these guys to jump into broadcast. And Mark, that was actually a pretty good race. You know, we had one caution, and you know we've seen a lot of different driving styles. You know, we've seen Frankie Franchicha doing what he could do to get around everybody. You've seen Alex Carver dominate the first part of the race. You've seen Brandon Walker try to get the lead, led a couple laps, not able to come home with the win. Just got a little bit too much
That was
there on
unfortunate for
the
Brandon.
end.
Unfortunate for Brandon on that last. I mean, it literally, he couldn't have had more than half of that tire dipped in the grass, but it just spun him. Just no chance for that, unfortunately.
As we wait to get these guys in the waiting room and get their interviews going, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to CRN, as you'll have myself, Jimmy, Carl, anybody that does do the CRN broadcast. It's normally just me, Carl, and Jimmy. I will have Ricky Gonzalez in the booth with me on Tuesdays. And then on Wednesdays, you got me and Mark Trisket Thomas. You know, what's a better duo? You know, we're always having fun up here in the booth. You know, I know you want to be out there on track with these guys because I know you love road racing, but it's always been a pleasure having you when you can be up here in the booth with me, calling the action.
I will make sure I have my Wednesday nights free just for you, Dylan. Just for you.
Yeah, see, this man gets it. This man needs to be part of CRN. Carl, make it happen. Make it happen, Carl. He needs to be on the CRN broadcasting crew. Uh, Ricky Gonzalez is on the broadcasting crew as he is the other broadcaster with me on Tuesday nights. Wednesday nights, you got Carl and Jimmy in the booth first, then you got me in the booth second. So definitely you're going to see two different streams on Wednesday nights. But while we wait for Brandon Walker, we're going to go ahead and bring in our second place finisher. That would be Alex Carver. Alex, this is Dylan and Mark in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh man, how about that save? That's what's up, man. Like you had the best save I've ever seen in any car. Looked like Jimmy Johnson out there at Dover in the Cup car. I thought honestly you were going to take out Brandon Walker. You were able to save it. He did the same thing the very next lap. He wasn't able to save it. Turned his car into a rocket ship. But kind of walk us through how your qualifying went. The first part of the stint there. Then you guys got that lucky little caution, bunched everybody back up, and then you ended up having Frankie Franchicha kind of steal the show from you.
Yeah, that was due to my mistake, but we'll get to that in a second. The first part of the qualifying went pretty well. Just kind of coasted around, going pretty slow because it's hot track. You don't want to really go fast on your outlap because it builds a lot of heat up real quick, even if you're just going in a straight line. So I just kept it like 50 miles an hour the whole time and banged out a pretty good quali lap because of that. Um, I felt pretty confident going into the race. Obviously started on pole, but last season I think I was super strong here, and I know I was, but I had something go on with my VR that prevented that from being a good result. So wanted to get some redemption when I came back, and we did that tonight. But first part of the race went really well. I was like 7 seconds or something like that in front of second. I think it was because they're battling, but also I think like I was pretty strong pace wise. One of the quickest people out there tonight, I think. Um, and then we pit, and that kind of screwed things up because I was gonna pit in like 3 laps, and I think we could have gone the whole race distance with one stop if that was the case. So kind of changed my strategy up, and we went out on primaries, and I made the mistake of putting it in fuel map 8 the whole time and just not like staying up there with Frankie. And then after I came out of the pits, I switched to alternates and I went off track, and that lost me like 7 seconds. And I think like the gap at the end was like 7 seconds. So I was pretty close. I would have been pretty close to winning it. But yeah, Brandon did have a good last couple of laps, but he bended it on the very last corner. So that's probably why he is in the booth tonight, because he's probably a little upset. But uh, I had nothing to defend him at the end. He was really quick.
Yeah, the last time that we did see Brandon Walker out there, he made his debut at Iowa with the Twin 150s. He was pretty quick on the oval side. We did see him do a couple of road races last season. He was pretty quick on the road side as well. So, I mean, like you said, you didn't have anything to defend him off. He just happened to have the bad luck there on the last lap. You were able to come back away with P number two. Now, next week, you guys go to, I believe it is, looking here, Iowa Speedway. So you got 160 laps at Iowa. It's another oval. Are you looking forward to another oval, or do you just want to stick to the road courses, or what's your game plan to try to get the season two championship away from your teammate of Sahaj Pettiar?
Uh, but not, I don't really care for ovals, so we're just gonna try our best and see what we can do. Try and just aim for top five. See what we can pull out. Um, yeah, but I'm definitely looking to all the road courses this year. It's my strong suit, so
Yeah. All right.
best tonight kind of proved that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, Mark, do you have any questions for our second place finisher of Alex Robbins?
No, not really. Just it was a great drive tonight. You looked really smooth out there. I could tell that you're a little upset with the way that it kind of panned out in the end.
Yeah,
It was unfortunate. That uh, that caution couldn't have come at a worse time, really. I mean, it did kind of
you're
upset
right.
the strategy for everybody.
Uh,
So yeah, my heart goes out to you. But I just wanted to say, great drive tonight. Well done, controlled. Um, yeah, you had great pace. I could see it from the start. You were one of my tips to win this.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, well, Alex, before we get you on out of here, does anybody want to give a shout out to before we let you go celebrate that second place finish with your teammate?
Yeah, my boy Sahaj, he had a pretty tough race. Yeah, that just QZ Motorsports and Core for putting this on. It does cost money to run these leagues and servers and all that. So I appreciate Carl and all the admins for doing their part, and definitely you two for broadcasting. I'm definitely going to rewatch it and see what y'all had to say about me.
It wasn't nothing
Yeah,
bad, I promise.
we were just chatting the whole race. We were just it was complete and utter nonsense.
All right, thank y'all. Y'all have a great night.
All right, you as
And
well,
you.
buddy. Hopefully, we'll be talking to you again next week.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and bring in our third place finisher here. That'll be the number 101 of Brandon the Rookie Walker. Sorry, I just made your own nickname there. Don't take any offense to it, as I do the same thing probably. But Brandon, this is Dylan and Mark Trisket Thomas in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Well, we've seen you go from the back to the front, front to the back, back to the front, all race long. Even with last season, he came out, won one of the twin 150s, had a strong showing in the end of the season. Come back out here, do good in the. I believe you were here last week with the doubleheader at Kansas, one on the road course, one on the oval, and now you back it up with a strong third place finish. You can't be too mad at yourself with that performance. You could have had second, but just got a little out of control, I could say. Barely got to that grass. Ended up turning your car into a rocket ship and went to outer space. But kind of walk us through your strategy, what you wanted to do, and see if you had anything for the number 097 of Frankie Franchicha.
Yeah, I couldn't match my time in practice. I was fastest overall, but yeah, the qualifying lap didn't go very well, and then I misjudged the time. I was halfway into my second one and wasn't able to complete it, so I had to settle for fourth. But I was trying to get around Sahaj and the other two guys in the beginning of the green flag, but I knew the Reds wouldn't last, but couple laps until they started to fall off, and thankfully, looked like we were all kind of making some mistakes. I had a pretty sloppy race overall, but I just wanted to keep the wheels on the track and keep up, because I knew I didn't have the winning car, but I finally was able to get into a groove towards the end of the uh, the second before the second pit stop. My times were dropping, which was surprising because I was on the blacks, I believe, and yeah, I knew I wasn't gonna make it. I think the caution kind of threw it off. I was a couple laps shy before the first yellow came out, but then just kind of messed with my engine map to save as much as I could, lift as much as I could without losing too much time. And yeah, I was kind of surprised to keep up with the leader when the green flag runs were coming out. I'm not sure if he was fuel saving or not, but and then of course made another mistake. So, but I mean, yeah, overall it wasn't too bad of a race. I honestly didn't know I was gonna misjudge that corner. I thought I was good, but yeah, it happens. I mean, I guess I can't be mad at P3 for the first race of the season two. So I don't know, man. That was fun but frustrating at the same time. So you have to clean it up next race I do.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, Mark, do you have any questions for our third place finisher, Brandon Walker?
Just a couple. First off, can I just say you were so unlucky? I just watched the replay, and it must have been half of that left rear just caught the grass and just caused it to over rotate on you on that last corner. You couldn't ask for any worse luck than that because your pace for the last 5 or 6 laps was absolutely superb. You had that absolutely nailed in. So my heart goes out to you, 100%. What I will ask though is, did you make a conscious effort to stick to the softs at the end, or did you actually think about the? Did you think about going to the inters?
Yeah, I honestly I felt like the blacks were to go
Yep.
towards the end, because the reds were really good only for like 2 or 3 laps, and then I mean, unless you weren't pushing that hard, then there wasn't really you were kind of doing yourself a disservice staying on those again, because it looked like the leader was on started on the blacks, so I figured that if it worked for him, then I should be able to make it work too. So, um, yeah, I was able to uh, have I had to remind myself that we were doing 30 laps, so I was able to use up some push to pass to catch P2. But overall, I think the blacks probably the way to go. Just as long as you're managing those too, because around here it's really easy to lock up the fronts or the rears
Yeah.
just because of the elevation changes. So you don't want to get those tires hot.
Yeah. Couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, I just wanted to put my 2 pence worth in, but yeah, hell of a race from you today. As I said, most unfortunate. You couldn't have been any more unlucky. Just as I said, it must have been half of that rear just caught the grass on that exit, and it was just too much. You were on the gas, and it just spun you around. Um, an absolute devastation. But for what for the way that you come back, top class drive.
Appreciate it.
Well, Mr. Brandon Walker, before we get you on out of here, does anybody want to give up a special shout out to and a good thanks as well?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and shout out Rude Image, rudeimage.com. If you guys want your racing helmets painted, or you could go to Rude Image Facebook page as well. Does amazing work. Um, you guys in the booth. It's good to have Mark here. I like his accent. I think he brings some pretty good energy in the booth.
Thank you.
And yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, thanks to Core Racing League for this host. Hopefully, we have a better turnout. This was a little disappointing to have started with 4 and then 7, 9. So yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe we have to go back to the drawing board as a league and figure out how we can get a little bit better and more participants. But we'll see what happens with the next one and go from there.
All right, Brandon. Hopefully, we'll be talking to you again next week as we go back to the oval of Iowa Speedway.
All right, sounds good.
All right, well, Mr. Mark, I'm going to go ahead and let you take over our second or our winner tonight. Oh, excuse me. As I get ready to bring him into the booth, Frankie, this is Mark and Dylan in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
We hear you loud and clear.
It's first time I have the microphone ready. I'm
All right, Mark. Well, I'm going to go ahead and let you take this away, and I'm going to get a quick little drink and relax my throat while you get these interview underway.
Frankie, can I just say what a superb drive from you tonight? Um,
thank you.
it was, from my perspective at least, it was time to perfection. I think the first caution may have thrown a spanner in the works for a few drivers, but I think it looked like you stuck with your game plan, and it seemed to pan out for you tonight. Can you let me know? Can you tell us all exactly if that was the plan for this evening? Whether you were that was going to be the game plan right from the offset, or whether whether the first caution actually upset the strategy for tonight, or
Well, good question. Probably I had more plans than Ferrari in F1. I have to say that the first thing I used to do in a race is try to run like 3, 4, 5 laps in saving fuel, because I really like to do this kind of strategy, like driving in defense mode. It could be saying like this. Um, and my idea was two stints of 15 laps with the primaries. But I have to say, when I saw the safety, I didn't know how to do it. It was like actually my idea, and in that time was entering in the pit lane in the second lap, but the pit lane was closed, so I decided to try to push the 3, 4 laps remaining I had of fuel, and the chain was like trying to do a last stint of alternates,
Yep.
and trying to push a lot in the first lap, because I knew the last laps I went to suffer with the tires probably close to gone,
Yeah.
and it worked. So no, but it was a really fun race, because I thought like two or three different strategy while I was driving. Really fun to drive, and I enjoy a lot the race.
It looked good from the booth. I watched you go around for a couple of laps. You were super smooth, absolutely like butter smooth. I didn't see you miss an apex once for a lap or two. So obviously showing a fair bit of track knowledge. Was there a lot of practice that went into the race before you came here tonight?
I love the circuit, North America. I think it's the first race I won in a racing in the IndyCar in a regular series. It was here in the. I think it was in the racing IndyCar series, the long races. And I really love this circuit, and it's perfect for saving fuel, because you have a lot of braking zones.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I came to racing from F1, from another games, and I don't know, but I know, and I like to do. I don't know how's the name of the technique of saving fuel. I don't remember the name. What?
Lift and coast.
Leaf and coast. Yeah, this fan coast. I like to do leaf and coast, and that was 4 or 5 engine map, and leaf and coast,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
trying to be smooth, and using the second gear in some on some turns. I usually did in first gear, and trying to do a little bit of short shifting, and that was the plan.
It certainly seemed to pan out for you tonight. A superb drive. Your tyre conservation was absolutely on point. I'd have some of your last 5 lap times right up in front of me now. 47, 47.9, 48.2, 48.5, 48.5, 48.5, and your last lap was 49.1. I mean, they're super consistent. 27, 28, and 29, every single lap was within a tenth of each other. So just, yeah, an absolute masterclass in fuel conservation and on tyre conservation. Absolutely impressive. I couldn't really say
Thank you.
no more than that.
Thank you. I have to say, I think it was one of my best races. Probably in iRacing, I don't know, but thank you. I don't know, but it went pretty well.
Well, I don't know where Dylan is, but see if he's
I,
here. Oh, he's
I,
here.
I,
He's here.
I'm
Um,
still here. I'm still here. Don't worry about it.
Hey,
Okay. If you've got any questions for Frankie, then please feel free to jump in here before I let him know that if he's got anybody that he wishes to thank.
Well, Frankie, you ran an absolutely superb race tonight. You did fairly well in the road course last week at Kansas. The oval side, you had your hiccups, but
no, 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 no,
that's
no. I have to say, we were talking last week about this. Before the Greg, I had the accident in the last races. I think it was for 3 or 4. I was in the head of the race. So I think I'm gonna try to fight to push for a win in an oval race this season. You will see.
Well, we
Faith,
do.
Frankie. I have faith.
We do go to Iowa next week, so there's your next chance at
I
it.
have to say I hate Iowa, but it will be a good place for the win.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody has has a track that they don't really like. Mine will be road courses.
Wow, it's
I don't
so
like road
stressing,
courses.
so stressing. It's like a circle. Yeah? The
Yeah.
whole race turning.
See, I love ovals. I can help you out as long as it's not an IR18, because I don't like the IR18s. But you know, I could help you. But good, congratulations on a very well ran race tonight. You did get the win at Road America. Now you go to Iowa, then back to another road course as they go to Monza. So we're definitely going to see
Monza.
Frankie up here, probably in the booth with us again. If not in first, then second, or if not those two spots, then in third. But Frankie,
I hope
it's
so.
always a pleasure talking to you. You know,
Uh,
you bring
Pleasure
more
is on mine.
excitement to the booth, as you know, I have Mark Thomas in here, now I have Frankie. But before we let you get on out of here and go celebrate at home with the missus, drink all you want, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
uh, I think I didn't understand the last question, man. What did you say?
He's asking you if
I
there's any.
understand. Try like take a drink and celebrate, but I don't understand the last thing. I had to say sorry and apologize for my English because I'm Spanish and I was thinking I have to say to my parents the lessons they paid when I was a child made me improve less than I racing is doing right now with these interviews and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. We've just asked you.
Just the joke for finishing the.
No, it's all good, Frankie. It's all good. We were just asking if there's anybody who you wanted to say thank you to or shout out to.
Thank you guys.
Okay, buddy.
All right, buddy. Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll be talking to you again next week, and hopefully the week after
I
that.
hope so.
Yes, sir.
I hope so. See you after Iowa.
Yes, sir.
Okay, my friend.
Bye.
All right, Mark. That was our winner tonight. Oh, I am so butt backwards on these interviews because we had to go second, third, first. You know, it happens. It
It's
happens.
all good.
But we just got done talking to our race winner, Frankie Franchicha. We don't have the official results all the way from first down to eighth place as of right now, so we're not going to run down those lists. But Mark, you're going to be back out on track, hopefully, with us as me and you do battle in the 87s. Core Racing League Vintage
Tomorrow
Cup
night.
Series heads to a road course as
Yeah, tomorrow night.
we tackle the Homestead Road Course B as I look to go 3 for 3 as I won Talladega, Charlotte, and now we're at a road course. But Chris Hamilton is trying to knock me off my high horse. Mark's trying to
Chris
knock me
is
off
quick
my
there.
high horse. And then,
Chris is quick at Homestead, dude. You gotta
yeah,
have your hands full.
yeah, I'm going to have my hands full. But I mean, hey, anything can happen. He might fall asleep. I might have to tell him that his computer locked up, can't get, just something, But no, I would never do that. Only at play tracks. Um, but Sunday, catch me back here in the booth as I will be in the booth for the GTE cars at Canadian Tire. They have a 15-minute sprint with a 45 minutes endurance race. And then Monday, you'll catch myself, Jimmy, Carl, and possibly Mark in the booth while we tackle I don't know what track we're at for the GT3 series, but we'll be in the booth. But while we're in the booth, we're actually racing, so you're going to get a different point of view from the broadcasters. Tuesday, we are back as we go ARCA racing as they start their season Wednesday, you'll have Jimmy and Carl back in the booth for the ECRC as they tackle Dover next week in the 87s. And then we'll be right back here right after that race, about 40 minutes later, as I'll be back in the booth with Mark Thomas as the IndyCars go to Iowa. But that's going to do it for myself and Mark. Make sure you guys take care. Brush your hair.